All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Link to the Past 2022 Randomizer Tournament Qualifier. We have Qualifier 14 starting in just a moment. Today we have Azder versus Someone. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Smirk JD. How you doing, Smirk?
I am doing fantastic today. Thank you for asking, Tracy. How about you?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to another qualifier. Yesterday's was a little was let's just say interesting. Trolls all over the place. What are we gonna get today? I don't know. We haven't had a true, fully hard required Agaseed. Maybe that shows up today. We had it. We were close the other day. We had a logical Agaseed. Breakable, like flippering that I don't think very many people broke, but it might be interesting to finally get one of those.
Yeah, I've raced 10 of these, and I keep thinking to myself, like, wow, there have been no Aga seeds. Maybe I should take an early Aga gamble, but it just hasn't been the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, without we've done a lot of recent tournaments with starting boots or starting swords, and that actually kind of lends itself to the Agaseed. And we do see both players starting, both getting a container heart in Link's house. Someone's going to go ahead and do the Uncle routing. We've seen a lot of that in quals. I don't think you see that quite as much in a regular match, as you're just going to save and quit with that heart and get a map out of the sanctuary.
Yeah, I think the Uncle start is a mentality of the qualifier safe, where you want to try to get as many checks for bombs and such before getting to Kakariko as possible.
Yeah, we do get an arrow tree pull, which is not very useful right now. And let's see what our uncle has. Just a piece of heart. Gonna see a lot of those in this heart item pool. Oh, and Azder gets a nice bomb drop there from the Buzz Blob.
Oh, is that what they're called? I've always called them pickles.
I don't know if that's their official name. We get a crab with some magic and not a whole lot in the uncle area. And we are going to get a Aga check, or a lumberjack check here. And just a piece of heart there, so we're definitely not doing Aga for the item. And he's going to try and get some more bombs. I think that's really smart, knowing that those are going to be dropping bombs. Getting 2 of them to enter Kakariko, that's enough to do Blind's Hut and the well. And probably by then you could get enough money to buy more if you need to. But a third one even gets you
Chicken Hut.
Gets you Chicken Hut. So yeah, sitting really pretty for those bombs right now. And then you find a 10-pack sitting there in the middle of the forest.
Oh, that works to farm the bombs.
Oh my god. Feels bad.
Still a little short on cash, though, for the bottle vendor.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get 50 in combined Blind's Hut and the well. So you only don't need quite as much. And we're not going to necessarily need to buy bombs, so pretty good chance we're going to get the money for it.
Yeah. And we got a prediction in chat for what is Eastern Palace? Is it a pendant or a crystal?
We haven't found the bow yet, so it's going to be a crystal. In fact, no, we actually see somebody who did a map check, and I do see a crystal. Sorry, a pendant on Eastern. And we do get a moon pearl and a hammer.
And boots. Wow.
Nice. Yeah. No money, though, so, that bottle vendor could still be orphaned.
So what do you skip bottle vendor if you don't have the money, or do you go back and farm it?
I skip it. There's always, a lot of people will go ahead and farm. It's just such a slow farm. And you're probably going to be back here. Like, no worries anymore. We got 50 rupees there. But yeah, it doesn't come up that often in A Link to the Past. It does actually come up a lot in SMZ3, which I also play. And 300 rupees, yeah, no worries. And a glove, so that's no Aga.
Yep, that's full Dark World access in 3 minutes.
Yep. But yeah, it's just, in general, you're gonna be back here multiple times, most likely. We do get a Quake from the bottle vendor, which is a nice TBD. Don't know if we need that. And Chicken Hut has more bombs, so bombs just not an issue. Especially nice to have enough bombs to when you're heading over towards Mini Moldorm Cave. You don't have to worry about it. The hammer can bail you out, although, as anyone knows, Mini Moldorms with hammers kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Back at Tavern with just another piece of heart. I was saying about talking about pieces of heart earlier. This hard mode pool has a lot of pieces of heart in it.
Like
Azder's just gonna go straight to Dark World. Yeah, we saw a lot of this yesterday too. With in that case, it was Mitt's Dark World Axis. Not really surprised he's doing that. We talked about it yesterday. He said that he would have done it yesterday too. I'll see what the race game has and the library. We actually have access to that. It is a mushroom, another to be determined item.
Yep. I'm surprised he didn't stop for the magic refill. Not that there's anything you can use for magic right now, but.
And as you're gonna head over to Skull Woods and dip that right now. I did not see what was on the race game, but I'm guessing it was nothing interesting because we just saw save and quit.
Just 10 arrows.
Okay, only question I have here is, will Azder continue on if this is not a small key? It is a small key, so he will continue.
You can see that Skullwoods is a crystal with that little C up there at the top.
Yeah, we won't be finishing it here unless both sword and fire rod are the two items that we find. Not likely.
Meanwhile, Someone325 looks like he's taking the South Shore approach.
Yeah, a little more standard approach. As you're waiting for the hand elevator ride back out. We'll see if he does the middle. I don't know that he will.
Oh, never mind about South Shore.
Oh, doing Hype Cave first. Yeah, reasonable thing to do here. And we now have another Pendant Swamp, which of course always has the, is this going to be a hover seed?
Yeah. And I think that was Red Crystal Pod and Pendant Mire as well.
He is going to go ahead and do the middle check. And we're going to see our first look at Hype Cave. Always funny when you get to see Hype Cave before Mini Moldorm.
Yeah.
And a sword. I don't think anybody's going to be missing that sword. And a flute.
Ooh, that's pretty hype.
Pretty good hype. As you're having trouble with this room because it sucks without a sword at least. Can't quite do the same NMG strats you would do. We should be fine at this point. Really didn't get a whole lot out of Skullwoods, unfortunately. Did we get any items?
No, there was a red 20. I think that's the only thing.
Well, I mean, it is an item. It's just not a good item.
Right, yeah. But, you know, it's one of those peace of mind things. He knows there's nothing there. He knows he didn't, skip something important.
Right. Okay, we're going to see the digging game over from someone. Nice little, a lot of divergence so far.
It's so funny because when you say someone, I was like, wait, who?
I know, it's... I'm going to try and say somebody if I don't mean the actual runner, but we'll see how long that lasts. I'm not sure. Azder taking a very interesting route. It looks like he did set up a water walk. I thought maybe that wasn't on purpose, but it absolutely was. Is going to go over to this side. This is totally in logic, just not in the way he's doing it. And maybe an early catfish check.
Yeah, I imagine he'll do Pyramid Ledge too, right? Or is that too far away?
I don't know. We'll do Pyramid Ledge. It is kind of far out of the way, and we don't have a whole lot for pod right now, so.
Yeah. Just to clarify in chat, Magno Hato, I'm not mocking anybody. I was just confused.
Well, those catfish is one of those locations that's really easy to orphan, and if you can just get it done.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
get just a piece of heart. He grabs it, and then, yeah, save and quit. Someone also going to go ahead and check the lumberjack is now confirming with himself that it is not an agaseed in any way, shape, or form. Let's see if Azure does Hype Cave or if he does Mini Moldworm in South Shore. Looks like he's going towards the Dark World and Hype Cave. So he'll get that flute and that sword as well. As you'll be happy to get this sword, because boots without sword kind of sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Azure's going to save and quit out of that. See if he's going to activate that flute right away, I think. Might do back of escape first, we'll see. Yeah, we're going to see back of escape first.
Meanwhile, Someone325 deciding to go ahead and proceed with the South Shore checks.
Yeah, you don't want to put these off for too long, because a lot of people are just going to do them before the Dark World stuff. You don't want to be without something that's important here, if there is something. Okay, so we've gotten the map and the key. So there is an item at Dark Cross. At some point, we may or may not see that. Slippers in the water there. Okay, well, I mean, I guess that's kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't know that you really want to see flippers in a seed where swamp is a pendant, but they are logically required for Ice Palace, so I mean they were going to show up somewhere. We see a bombos and a bottle in Mini Moldworm. Nice thing with that flute, you can turn in that bottle easily anytime you want. It will be the only bottle we'll be seeing. I think all the others are replaced with blue 5s.
Yeah, that's, blue 5s.
We do know we'll need at least one medallion, and we've got 2 of them. Azure's going to go ahead and get his mushroom. Actually, I like this routing by him. Pairing in these Kakariko locations that he skipped earlier with the flute activation. Worked out really well for him.
Yeah, it's cool.
And we got money, lots of money in Ice Rod Cave. So, if Zora becomes an issue, that could play a part, but probably not going to be a big deal.
It's nice to have the Zora money when you're about to go over there, so.
Yeah. In fact, that is what we're going to see. Oh, we're going to see the hobo first. See if the man on the bridge has anything for us. We'll see if someone decides to fake flipper out of that and do the Zora checks as well. Oh, we don't have to fake flipper. We have flippers. And that's just reminding us, picking those up.
Oh wow, even more money in hobo, so plenty of Zora money now.
So we're fully in logic here. Okay. New checks over at the Waterfall Ferry. Bombs and money, and not gonna throw the bottle into the fountain. I always forget to do that, so.
I like to do it, but it does take time.
It seems like it's always a B for me anyway when I do remember. As you're fluting away, and is going to do a quick Agita check. I like this with the flute. Shovel sitting on desert ledge, another to be determined item.
Keep getting more and more of those.
And just bombs on Zora. I didn't see what was on the ledge.
The
We're getting a
piece of
save
heart.
and quit, so there's nothing we're going to grab there. And just bombs at Aegina. So I think we're going to be going to see some Dark World. Some more Dark World action here.
Yeah.
Let's see what Azure
Sounds
decides to
good.
do. Like we're going to get a mushroom turn-in from someone. Might get it from both of them. I think they both are coming off a save and quit. So if it is something, they keep it, and if it's not, they can reset and get their mushroom back if they want to fake. Yeah, we'll see the reset from someone, and I suspect we'll see the reset from Azure as well.
I'm trying to figure out
that's
what did someone do to have so many more hearts? I can't.
He's done a few extra checks here and there. He did the rest of the South Dark World stuff. He did. I guess Ice Rock Cave was money, so it wasn't from that. I'm gonna go and do Escape. Azure is fluting over and gonna check out Saha. Maybe going to Eastern. I don't think I like the Eastern play so much, it being a pendant, and we can't clear it anyway. But it's a quick Saha check with boots and flute. I like this. There's a piece of heart. And another piece of heart. Yeah, there's like 48 of them in the pool. They put enough. They put like 3 container hearts and enough pieces of heart to get you to 20 if you pick up every single one of them. I challenge someone to go out there and actually do a race and actually get all the pieces of heart. It won't happen because it would be too slow. It'd be funny if one of the runners in this tournament did that. Azure can turn in that bottle. And just money there in the second check there. And money at Sick Kid.
So far, we're 0 for 2 on those fetch quests.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you wonder if you really want to get that shovel on Desert Ledge.
Yeah, you got to pick it up. I mean, the shovel led to a cane yesterday, so, you know. We're going to see... I expect someone to death warp out of this and check Dark Cross. Of course, not in logic without a fire source, but... You're there already. Oh, that was not... You don't want to actually kill the guard there. Now he's got to waste a bunch of bombs and waste a bunch of time to take that death warp. Azure, meanwhile, is going to go into Village Outcast proper. And I suspect we'll get a Thieves Town play.
Yeah, do we know if it's a crystal or dungeon?
According to our tracker, shout out to Duke Firebird, our tracker today, our MVPs behind the scenes, it is a crystal. So.
Yeah, that's right. We know. We saw Swamp and Meyerby pendants. Right.
Yep. Key right away in Thieves Town. Nice to have the boots for Thieves Town. We've seen a lot of races where the boots were pretty late and people had to walk through Thieves Town.
Yeah, it's the worst.
It's sad that those little fires that the Bombos causes do not light up the room.
I know, right? Yeah.
And escape, complete bust. So any runner that completely avoids that area gonna be well rewarded for not doing it.
Yeah, the back too. Yeah, all of it was
nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just kind of interesting because we've seen a lot of seeds with stuff in those areas. And someone gonna do the Sick Kid check. Makes a lot of sense here. And we're starting to run out of places where things can be. We do have the Pod Eastern area that we've just seen Saha from. We have the rest of Thieves Town. Now, we've already dipped Skull Woods. We have mountain access, but not a whole lot of mountain access. There's only one item in logic there, and 2 items we can get until we get a hook shot or a mirror. It wouldn't surprise me if something shows up in Thieves Town here. But so far, we have not seen anything.
Yeah. Yeah, right now it's looking like Eastern or Pod is holding something.
It could be.
And it's one thing I've noticed, like, Pod hasn't seemed to have a whole lot for these qualifiers. Like, yesterday was completely empty. And then most of the time it's just been having, like, flippers or a lamp or something.
Well, yesterday had a lamp, so it wasn't completely... And, given that there was some players' first fire source, and the fire sources came pretty late, when even though the other one was sitting on the pyramid ledge.
Yeah.
It did open things up for runners to do. I think those people that got the... Oh, there's a hook. There we go. Now we just got the mountain wide open. There's our progression. But yeah, it was interesting yesterday with the fire rod sitting there on the pyramid ledge, and I think a lot of runners wanted to pair it with the pyramid fairy, and another fetch quest with the powder. But at least the powder, that's the best fetch quest, because at least that has other uses.
Yeah, I love powder.
Sadly, without a mirror, we can't check the bat right now, but fortunately, it's just a flute away. And resetting that mushroom ended up meaning nothing.
But better safe than sorry.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's absolutely the play you make.
I like those swings on the blind's head there from azder.
Yeah, so far staying on script. Yeah, very nice blind fight from azder.
There's only one progression item, well, pending powder.
Yeah, I mean, powder is another big TBD, but that hook shot's huge. First of all, not a hover seed, because no one's missing that hook shot. Could be a mirrorless seed. Which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, unless except for GT routing.
But yeah, it keeps Swamp Palace out of play. So
yeah, not having Swamp Palace available is fine. But you have to have a hook shot or mirror to finish any seed, so one of them had to show up. Also, for those of you who maybe have not watched azder before, I am going to point out he does not use quick swap, which is great for commentators and trackers. We can actually see some of the things that are going on. He does lose a bit of time. He is one of the best menuers out there, so he doesn't lose as much time as one might think. And quick swap, if you're not good at it, doesn't save you as much time as people think it does. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out to those of you that aren't in the know. Only 2 players at this point that I know of that are at that tournament potential level that don't use quick swap. The other one being Koi.
Yeah, I was gonna mention
not a lot of people. I mean, some of us. I know some people. I've heard. I'm not going to name names, but I've heard other people not liking it. And I think the thing that people don't see about it, as we see players retracing each other's footsteps, is that the really good menuers will save time with proper use of quick swap, but they won't save as much time over their opponents anymore, because I think menuing is a more difficult skill in general. Azder's farming for money.
Yeah,
he just kept right on going. There's no reason to do that unless you actually want the money. That could be plans for a Zora check. With that hook shot, I would expect the mountain first.
Yeah, it's a good point that you brought up with the quick swapping versus menuing. I didn't know the specifics of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of runners I see who will still menu a lot, but at least have quick swap on. azder and Koi are the only 2 I know of that actually actively turn it off. Okay, this is going to be the Zora check from azder, which unfortunately is going to net him nothing. But it is going to give him peace of mind that he doesn't have to worry about it. In
Yeah,
general, runners are going to route qualifiers differently than 1v1. I mean, you're a top runner, you do not want to leave things that other players are going to get open. You're going to lose more time from skipping them and having to come back to them later. So as
for
you're
sure.
being nice, safe, and thorough.
Yeah, there's always the risk of like mids being somewhere like on Zora and going up the mountain a second time for the mids.
Yep. Okay, and someone is going to go to Skull Woods, I think. Yeah. So more retracing, and interesting. We got a reset from Azure. He wanted that. He wants that money back.
Yeah, I mean, you still have to pay for pod and some other things. So
Okay, I suspect this will be a mountain play. Yeah. Nope. Oh, Ice Rod Cave. Where he gets all the money that he just sent back. It's pretty good. Yeah, a lot of these locations he's checking out, I'm used to him not, skipping. But, again, it being a qual, I think you're just going to be more thorough. And let's see, is he going to say, okay, he's going to flute. This time maybe it is the mountain. The only other thing left would be the hobo. He could have gone ahead and set up that water walk, but we know that's just money too. And he may be hoping to just pair it in with the pod area, with the mirror if it shows up. Gonna do the one out of logic thing, which is rescue the old man, but that save quit spot is so nice that you do it anyway, even if you don't care. Even if you knew the item was nothing, you might do this anyway just for the save quit.
Yeah.
A little less so with the flute, but
I'm excited to see what's up here on the mountain because until now, this is all we have left. It's mountain, which is
and pendant eastern and bolus pot, and we do get a required item from that. Not going to be of any use to us right now, but we definitely want it.
yeah, it's starting to point to ice. I think with that bombos, and the cane.
Well, I don't know. Well, first of all, we don't have mids, and second of all, the cane is not really a progression item for Ice Palace. Technically, it could be logically required if Cold Stare has a small key. But it just does make it a much nicer play when it comes up, because Icebreaker just breaks ice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what Paradox has, and we'll probably end this with a Hera check or Hera play, and then maybe can do probably not going to be able to do Spike Cave, which is fine. You just do Spiral instead. We don't currently have a invincibility item, and nor does he have enough hearts to do it, or a bottle with anything to save him. We're going to see Catfish over from Someone, which is another place we've seen. Okay, Fire Rod. So there's our progression. That gives us Skullwoods.
And there's one more item back there, so.
Yeah, it gives us a really bad Skullwoods. We've seen a few Fighter Sword moths in these qualifiers already, so.
Yeah, I think, like you said, just for efficiency and for potential other items going to Hera's, very high TA here.
I mean, it's a completable crystal dungeon, so you might as well just do it. Now with that fire, it makes a guaranteed full clearable. We'll see if we see any Hera potting. Okay, Azure wanted that fairy, but not badly enough to keep chasing it.
It was being mean.
It just didn't want to come back to him. Oh, and someone's going to check the powder. Let's see if there's anything here. Okay, easy big key, so we don't necessarily
Oh.
have to pair a pot.
Some mitts on powder.
Oh, that's unfortunate if you're trying to wait to pair that in with
Smith chain, yeah.
with Smith chain. But it's a quick flute. It would not surprise me to see Azure go right back there, rather than doing a bad pot Eastern dip. Unfortunately for Azure, he will not get the mountain check in one go that someone's gonna get. Also, Azure choosing not to Harapot. It doesn't save as much time if you're full clearing the dungeon anyway, so not really surprised that he's not doing it.
The thing with the mitts too is like they can be a bad thing if they open up so many things, and if things aren't behind them, then it kind of ends up wasting more time.
Oh, and that's a nice Hera with both items already found and the big key in the first 3 stacks. So
yeah, and
it worked out pretty well.
So very helpful. Yep. Should make that mock fight significantly easier.
Yeah, I mean the difference between Fighter Sword and Master Sword is pretty significant in that fight.
Very nice total. One of these days, I'll learn how to do it without falling.
We will get to find out some medallion information out of this, at least. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Someone's going to do all his Light World stuff first, I would hope. Do Hera, do Spiral Cave, and then come back for the Dark World stuff. Without the mirror, you don't want to, have to do an extra... You're just asking for an extra mountain climb.
Personal experience can confirm.
Unless the bow shows up here, I expect we'll see powder from Azure relatively soon. And maybe a Mire area play right after that. We'll see.
Yeah, it's one thing I like to do too when having the flute in the mitts, even without the mirror. I like to check that Mire shed and the medallion info.
Yeah, it's 2 quick checks. It's medallion information. Granted, we don't need to ever enter Mire necessarily. Where are we headed? Oh, we're going to do escape. Okay. I forgot about that. Azure has not done that yet. He hasn't even done Uncle.
Oh, that's where a couple of heart pieces were.
Yeah, probably. Probably in this whole section. Yeah, Fairy playing a little nicer for someone, but fortunately Azure didn't have any ill effects for not getting it.
Yeah, going to Hera, you don't have to worry too much about your health.
So again, we get our runners following each other's footsteps. Could be a little bit before we see something new.
Yeah, I wonder what Azure, like you said, will do with those mitts. Probably the Mire area, but I wonder if he'll go back up the mountain or if he'll follow that fire rod bomb.
No, honestly, I think Ice Palace is a really good play for him right now.
Yeah.
You have Kane, you have Hookshot, you have both Bombos and Fire Rod.
Yeah.
Be nice to have another sword, but could just be a sword there.
Could be.
Yeah, this is actually one of the layouts. I mean, I've never timed all these things, but this is probably one of the layouts where you save the least amount of time doing a Harapot versus going up. Because you're still dropping down, opening that one chest, and
Yeah,
I suspect it's still a time save so long as you get it quickly, but not nearly as much as with some of the other. Obviously the biggest time save is if you're in go mode and then you just do it, or if you're trying to avoid getting the big key in the basement.
Oh, someone fell down.
And there, oh no, he fell down the middle hole. Like, I just won't go there. Like, I'll just wait on the other side if I have to. And for Azure, this Dark Cross item is actually in logic with the Fire Rod, but he's not even gonna bother with it, which is good because it's nothing. Or oh, he just didn't want Death Warp. He's gonna go do it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I think with that many hearts, I think Death Whipping might be a little slower than just...
Yeah, he must have. I didn't see if he killed the green guard. If you kill the green guard, then yeah, you've got 4 bombs. You can't even do it. So someone finishing up Hera will probably do Spiral Cave next, and then we'll get to see some new items on Dark Death Mountain.
And potentially that TR medallion.
Yep, find out. Yeah, I mean, you know, the odds say it's not Ether, because Ether could just be sitting in GT then. We have the other 2 medallions, but recent history says it's going to be Ether. Yeah, Azure able to do that much quicker because he's able to light that torch.
Yeah.
And getting that item with just a sword is not too bad, but you do have to kind of feel your way for it. Okay, we are going to get a flute from Azure. Where are we fluting to? Oh, okay. We're going to do pod, which means we're going to see a mimic clip. Pod could have stuff too. Could have our bow. We'll find out pretty quickly whether we're bow locked. Remember, this is not progressive bows, so if we are bow locked, we're not going to find a bow locked bow. This is nice. We're going to see new locations from both runners.
We'll get to answer that question earlier, where we were all wondering if pod is holding progression or not. Let's see now.
And it is Quake, so we do have the medallion for it.
So unless there's something in Mire, and Mire is also Ether, then Ether is...
Yeah, the scary part here for someone is, does he go into Turtle Rock and looking for an ice rod? It being a crystal, I don't like the play very much. If it were a pendant, then, you know, progression in Turtle Rock is a thing that happens.
Almost always a bow or flippers in there.
It does seem to come up a lot. We do see that pod is not bow locked. Azure's just going to go ahead and do the mimics right now. He does know how to mimic clip. He did not get any kind of potion, so he will have to do the actual clip.
Someone found a tempered sword in Super Bun Cave.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Everybody's getting that tempered sword. Everybody's going to have tempered sword in this qual, so those are just very easy swords to run into.
Can you explain the mimic clip? I'm not too sure how to do it.
I've never done it myself, but it's basically you're using menu buffers to move the mimic more and more into the wall until you can just clip it out. That's the best I can do for explaining it.
Yeah, that's great.
And we are getting a TR dip from someone. This could be really big in either direction for him. Like, either there's something here, or you know, if he finds an ice rod and can clear it, that's really nice.
Yes.
If he finds a bow, that's big. If he finds... Is that all we're looking for at this point? Bow and ice rod? Yeah, that is all we're looking for, is bow and ice rod. So if there's good stuff in pod, Azure could end up with Mitz Go mode, which would be really nice for him.
Yeah, Mitz Go mode is nice.
So far, the front of pod doing its usual thing, having lots and lots of keys. Yes, chat rightly pointing out, we do need something to get into desert, which means mirror or book needs to show up.
Yeah. Yes.
So we are 3 items from Go mode. Just that in one case, we get a choice.
So someone does have a small key. He could continue. Let's see,
I think we're gonna see. I thought Azure was menuing to powder.
I thought so too. I was like, powder.
But no.
Powder.
This is, I mean, it's not the most dangerous part of pod, but, you know, doing the dark maze in the dark, which is not in logic with the fire rod. Could be perilous to your health. So you're just gonna have to be careful in here. I think he would have been better off powdering and not, you know, because he can get through this just fine. It's just, you know, now you have to be more careful.
Right.
So the time you would take to go and get the fairy for powder, you make up by being able to do this faster.
Yeah, the death bug.
In time. Someone's still in TR. We still haven't found anything here yet. And neither one of the heart pieces we found here gave a refill. Just a single arrow. As you're taking a death warp, but he's cleared everything he can here, and unless I missed him getting a mirror, he can't go into Eastern, so I'm not entirely sure what his plan is.
I think there's an item in the...
Oh, there might be, yeah, okay, he hasn't done the big key chest. So we're going to see that real quick. Still nothing in Turtle Rock, I don't think. Turtle Rock's kind of similar to Pod, even though it's not officially logically in the same category. It does like to have lots of small keys up front and, you know, items in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a mirror. And yeah, just, you know what? I got a mirror. I'm going into Eastern. This is interesting.
Yeah, the Eastern. I mean, I would fly right to desert for that, but I like this Eastern. You're right.
Well,
here.
he can't do it desert with that mirror because he hasn't gotten the mitts out of.
Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh.
Out of Magic Bat yet. Which has got to be his next play because I don't think he's got anything else after this.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing with the mids locking so many things. You know, he's running out of options to find those. So
yep. So now we are officially bow and ice rod for no mode.
Yeah, it's a good point from Brawler 1337 in chat that the mirror does open up some other mirror specific chats.
Yeah, late mirror kind of sucks.
And that also begs the question, like, if there's something in Mimic Cave.
Yeah, that's really, if like Ice Rod's in Mimic Cave, that's really bad for someone. Azur's just be able to get it. And on his way through TR. And I mean, anything really.
Anything that's required.
Laser Bridge has a piece of heart. Someone having trouble with those laser skips. There's the small key that had to show up.
Has Ice Rod been in Turtle Rock and any qualifier yet?
I don't think so, but I've definitely not seen. Oh, Azure has the flippers.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it wasn't tracked. One more possible item in Eastern. I think we're going to get the ice play from someone. Did not find the ice rod. Did not find anything really in Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock was empty.
Okay, it looks like Eastern also empty.
We are getting the Ice Palace play here from someone. So this is
I like
that
this.
I thought you would have done first.
Yeah, where is Azure going? Oh, he's going to start. Oh, okay. This makes sense. He's got the mirror, so he's going to do... I hope he's not going into Swamp. But if he's going to head over to Magic Bat, he can do so and like hit K45 on the way. Okay, this does not look like a Swamp play.
Yeah,
no, this does not look like a Swamp play.
K45 to Smiths. You know, I want to say thankfully, but at the same time, the pendant swamp is so dangerous. It's been having things, and
it could have something. It really could. But mitts are going to open up enough for Azure once he gets them that I don't think you go into swamp. Which way he goes? No, he is going into swamp. Okay, just gonna do K45, not gonna do powder. Mitts in swamp is not unheard of. But we could see Ice Rod and or Bow here, so let's see what happens.
I'm getting that icebreaker and progressing through Ice Palace.
And for those of you pet fans, we have Ice Rod left as a pet item.
Or, you know, Meyer being Ether and Ether being unpet.
Yeah, Pod was not bow locked. Maybe there was just one small key on the right side.
Yeah, it was a small key and a big key on the right side.
Yeah, so big chest of Pod is bow locked, but that wasn't where the mirror was.
Yeah, I've noticed in Pod, it seems like the items are more likely to be in the front with the non-progressive bows.
So far, not seeing a whole lot in ice or... Well, we haven't gotten anything. We've just one check in swamp here.
To answer your question in chat, the lamp in yesterday was in Pod.
Yep, that's right.
But I think Ether was in Swamp.
Ether was in swamp, yes. There were bad locations yesterday. Were just
gosh, yeah,
bad. Someone about to go into cold stare. Looks like there was nothing in ice. Azure, I think, has he gone both map and compass here? Because he's gonna go to the back. We'll see if he comes back in, or if he gets items.
Final item as Palace being your heart piece on cold stare.
So nothing on ice. Just having a little trouble setting up this diver down. Does it a little different. Does it the speedrunner strat, which is usually a little bit faster because you're not jumping into the water. But of course, you have to actually get it, and gets a big key. Is going to keep going. It does mean, I do believe that may mean 3 items going back in.
I think so.
Which I think you do at this point.
Yeah.
Someone looks like he's going to grab a potion. This could be a smith chain check from someone. Or actually, no, you do Skullwoods first because you can use a clearable crystal.
So you're doing the spin strats for Marcus.
Yeah, doing them well. Choosing to just use sword spins for the end of the fight rather than... It has no magic for the fire rod, so pretty much has no other good choice.
Oh, wow.
Wow! Ice Rod on Argus. Oh my!
Wasn't it just a couple seeds ago where the fire rod was on Argus and now it's the ice rod?
Oh my! And that's a green pendant for him to turn in later when he goes back to pod. That is amazing. Now, do you go back in? Yeah, go back in. Look for that bow. I mean, if he finds the bow here, that's Mitts go mode.
Yeah, that's right, mitts. I keep forgetting he still didn't have the mitts.
I mean, you know, Mitts. They only open your last 3 dungeons and GT. Wow. I wonder how many people, like, you have to go into pod. I mean, if we still know where the bow is, so, you know, some people are going to get that mirror in pod with the bow, potentially, if the bow is not behind the mirror. But potentially you have to go into pod to get your mirror without a bow, to go to swamp, to get your ice rod at Argus, all the way in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with chat saying that if he, we'll have to ask him afterwards, but I agree. Wouldn't make the swamp play if he had the mitts. At least not this early.
Right.
I mean, you're gonna have to get there eventually. Everyone is. There are definitely going to be several runners on a good old-fashioned ice rod hunt.
I wonder if he does find the mitts before the bow, though, if that'll lead him up to TR.
Eventually. I think you do ice first, and I think you check the mire area first. Not because those are... I think you do that other stuff first, just because you already weren't able to do the mountain in one go. And so going back up there. But in his case... he can full clear Turtle Rock, so it wouldn't be a bad play for him to just go up there and do it. So maybe he does go up there once he gets mitts if he doesn't have a bow. This is our first check of Saha from someone. We know nothing's here. Piece of heart, and it looks like the last item is map or compass, so we're not checking it. But that ice rod pull is pretty darn huge.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Can't do anything with it. It still has to. I think now he has a few mirror checks. I think Graveyard Ledge is on the table. But other than that, it's that and powder. And we are getting our first look over at the mire area.
And I think Turtle Rock Trinex was an item. And
yeah, I wasn't counting. Yeah, if he got both map and compass, then yeah, I wasn't paying enough attention. Oh, lamp and our last sword in Mire Shed, which might be Azder's first. Like in his case, you can do desert with that mirror. You get the Mire Shed checks, you get the medallion information on Mire, so it wouldn't surprise me if he goes straight there. He's gonna do Skulls first, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And someone finally going to go ahead and go into pod. We'll see how quickly he follows that mirror and what he follows it to. In his case, probably does desert first, though. Because, again, it's a crystal dungeon you have to do. Did anyone see what Did you see what the other item in Skullwoods was? Was it on Moth?
I didn't actually see, no.
Okay. I don't think I saw someone go back into Skullwoods. So we do have one more item here.
Putting in the chat the file saying it was bridge chest.
It was bridge chest. No, it wasn't the bow, so that's all we care about right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So someone's going to do pod. Probably going to get his mirror. We'll see if he mimic clips the other side. I think he has a potion, so can do it that way and not have to do the slightly more difficult, slightly slower clip. Azure makes a quick work of the moth. He gets a compass for his trouble. It doesn't need to check pad even if he could, because we now know that's dead. Bow cannot be there. That's the only thing left that we're looking for. Yeah, and there's that potion camera unlock. Yeah, chat asking what Azure does next. It wouldn't surprise me if he saves and quits to then do either the rest of the north checks or the powder check. I mean, that's what he's got left right now. He's gonna have to do them. It's kind of slow to have to walk, or I guess in this case, run out of skulls. Actually, okay, he's gonna mirror first. But I think it's actually faster, even if you're gonna go to those north checks, to mirror and go back to the portal, than it is to run out of Skullwoods. So that's what he's doing. This could be our bow, though.
Yeah,
which again, it would be really good for him, because if it is the bow, he's gonna. I mean, even if he lost locations, that those mitts.
The only downside of Azure finding the bow is he might not grab that lamp, but I don't think that's an issue for him, really.
Nah, he doesn't care about lamp. Sorry, Polar Bear Bunny in chat. Anyway, there's a good chance he gets it though, because he's gonna want to do quick checks for swords, and without the book, you're gonna be right at Mire Shed. It just makes sense to do it.
Yeah, you're going into desert anyway, right? So.
But if there's ever someone that's comfortable with Master Sword for a seed, it's Azder. He is has the second best time in low percent, where you have 3 hearts Master Sword at the end. So he would kind of be bad because he'd lose time. It's still a slow fight. So now I'm gonna do King's Tomb. We'll see if this is the bow. And then I think then at that point it's powder. And you just do it, and then you get your mitts. And you do desert and ice, not necessarily in that order.
Right.
Already got that flute out, knows what he's doing next. And just bombs a King's Tomb. So that means our bow, let's see, where can that bow be at this point? Could be in desert. Could be in Mire.
Or in...
Could be on Trinex.
And then
where? Oh, he's gonna turn that green pendant in. Yeah, I like this. Could be green pendant.
Green pendant.
You went out of your way to get that green pendant. You might as well see what it is. I'm sure he was hoping to well, actually, in the end, if it were a bow, he's going straight into pod. If it's not a bow, then it's a book.
Oh.
Okay, that's desert.
Well, that is desert in a different way. And the bow might still just be there.
That
so.
bow might be in desert. And it's also tablet checks.
Tablets, yeah.
Okay, he's decided not to do the tablets. At least not right now. Oh, and there's that shovel.
Oh, right. We forgot about that.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I think, someone mentioned in chat about the tempered sword. I think, when Azder's going up to Turtle Rock, he might still check Super Bunny King.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It does make it a lot more likely he misses the lamp. Oh, we haven't seen Pyramid Ledge, have we? Yeah, it's just money.
Did we catch which crystals were red? It was, I think pod was one of them, so bow can't be there.
Yeah, pod and desert.
Okay. Let's see what Mire Shed is holding. Oh wait,
we know what Mire Shed. We're gonna have both runners in desert at the same time in very different ways.
Yeah. So we haven't seen checkerboard yet, have we?
No, and there's the bow.
There it is.
So Azure is going to get the Mitz Go mode. Yeah, and Rick in chat's pointing out very rightly that doing the Super Bunny would be a very qualifier safe play. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does it. I mean, he's going to be fine. It'll suck to have to do Torch Glitch with Fire Rod and do the perfect Ganon fight. He is capable of doing that. Hopefully, he chooses to buy a potion if he doesn't have Tempered at that point. Grabs the shovel. We know he doesn't need it.
Oh right, yeah, he's still not sure of Mitz, so.
Right. So yeah, you have to grab that shovel, and someone's going to grab it too, or if you didn't already, because he doesn't know where the ice rod is.
Or the bow, which
he's finding the bow in like 5 seconds. He's about to get that bow.
But that does make it so that pod was a required double dip because the mirror locks both the bow and swamp. So
and swamp, yeah, you're absolutely right. Here's the question of, does Azure do the book stuff first, or does he do the powder check first?
Yeah, and the benefit of, for an Azur's position is with being Mitz Go mode, like, I think that's like the best Go mode to be in. You run out of checks much more quickly than if you have them. So.
Oh yeah, someone's not getting that ice rod for a while.
Yeah.
Like with Mirror, Smith Chain becomes extremely viable. You have Kingstone Graveyard Ledge. You can go into Mire because you're right here. And the only thing he could find that would help him at this point would be silvers.
Yeah, he might go back to clear pod. I don't remember if there was an item on the boss or not.
Oh yeah, someone could do pod. You're right. That would not be a bad choice. I don't know if there's an item on Helma either. Okay, we're fluting. Where are we fluting to, Azure? We fluting to 3. We fluting to 4 we're going to do a book check. I think he's going to last location that powder. And he'll be able to do bombos and flute from there. Yeah, Azure could also finish pod, you're right. And maybe that's his plan, to do pyramid ledge into pod. Kind of don't like that just because you can pair it with pyramid fairy later. He's gonna do that hobo check. Totally forgot he hasn't done this. This is just money. We keep forgetting the things that he hasn't done yet. And checkerboard with piece of heart. Yeah, someone never did a Gina. We know this is nothing as well.
Right. I think it was 3 bombs. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it looks like the pod play from Master, and that will lock him out of any other dungeons that he can do. So after this, it's just other overworlds.
Yeah, it's Ether Tablet, Logic Spike Cave, obviously Powder check, and Shovel. At that point, those are his options. Oh, he could finish Eastern. I don't know if that has an item. Maybe he does that.
Both had the idea to go back to pod after getting that bow.
Yep.
Which makes me feel like there is an item there. On Alpha, that is.
Yeah, I think you would be less inclined to rush back here if there wasn't something on the boss here.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. It also opens up the red crystal.
It does. We might see a Pyramid Fairy check from both runners. Dark Trail's not too bad when you have a Fire Rod.
Yeah, and fortunately, Mire's not going to be required at all. I mean, I don't think either of these runners have trouble with Dark Mire, but I think that's like the hardest one of them. The last two swords, one was in Super Bunny and the other was in Turtle Rock, I think?
No, Super Bunny and Mire Shed.
Mire Shed.
A bug
Mire
net.
Shed was sword and lamp. That's right.
Yes. Yeah, so if Azder's going to get a sword, he's going to get the one in Super Bunny because he has absolutely no reason to go back to Mire. Fact is, though, he might not get it because it's not really. We'll see if he dips it after. He might do it after. Do the quick checks up there on the mountain after Turtle Rock. Because he has to open Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
He would do it just before as well. Okay, this looks like Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, I think so. I think that might be the reason they rushed back to Pod. Though someone is going for armor.
Yeah, I don't think someone's done anything in Eastern, so this makes a lot of sense for him.
Yeah.
I don't think Azur's ever going back to Eastern. Again, I don't know if he got all three items. This could, again, could find silvers. It'd be especially useful for Azure to have a better Ganon fight in case he doesn't run into that sword.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like you said, he's very capable of doing it. It's just the speed.
Yeah, the scariest part is the fact that with Fire Rod, you cannot miss a triple. If you get the free shot at the beginning, then you can miss maybe one triple and get a double out of it instead. It is a fight that he's capable of doing. I've seen him do it before, but not exactly the best thing in the world. Now, hopefully, he does have a bottle, so hopefully he considers buying a green potion or a blue potion, either one, before heading up there with the flute. That's pretty quick to do. Nothing in Pyramid Fairy. Okay, so you got your choices. You got Ether Tablet and an Autologic Spike Cave, and you've got Shovel, and you've got Powder. And he's pulling out his flute. Thought maybe he'd do the Shovel check first, but looks like not. Okay, looks like he's finally going to do that Powder check. Yep, getting the hammer out.
Yep, the hammer. And this is going to be go mode for Azder.
Yep. To answer chat, they absolutely can fill bottles in this mode. They just only get one. And they can fill them in the fairy caves. We don't know what's in the fairy caves. Neither runner has checked that. And at 108 and about 40, Azure hits go mode with those myths, and let's see what he does. He does save and quit.
Guessing. Oh, I was gonna guess
No,
Ice Palace.
No, he's going Ice Palace. He's just fluting from here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh, that's a good point from Adirondack Rick in chat. Azder doesn't know he's in go mode just yet. He doesn't
His
know that.
TR, yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
point. So he's gonna get.
the lamp and sword here.
He's gonna get no.
Nope. Check
What?
the
No,
shed first.
Asher?
What? No,
What
the
is?
shed.
No, what? You're in. Oh my god.
Oh
Why
no.
are you going? Okay, he may. Okay, so Azure doesn't track.
Oh,
He
he
may walk
doesn't?
in here. No, he doesn't use a tracker. He may not remember this is a pendant. Let's see what happens when he
Oh,
walks in.
please see the P.
Or hear the music. He.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, check Myra Shed though, please.
Yeah.
If you're right here, you might as well.
Nope.
Okay, don't
No.
check Myra. It's fine. Okay, now we're going to Ice Palace. Didn't check Myra Shed, as chat's pointing out. I mean, he was still in go mode if he had to do Myra. So I don't think he was just going to skip Myra Shed anyway, it looks like. But meanwhile, someone looks like he's going to go do some smith chaining.
We know the only thing of potential value here would be
Silvers.
silvers.
Astrid not hitting the switch. That might be a mistake.
Fortunately, this is a big key.
Oh, but this is the big key, so it won't even matter.
And, you know, I think if he's going to be checking other chests for a sword, I don't know if he's going to do that, but if he does that, you know, the switch isn't going to save you too much time.
With the big key there, it's not. You run the risk of
Big key and iced tea.
big key and iced tea room with items already found, but that's not going to be a problem. Smith's with a red 20. Yeah, but he is still hedging his bets on that ether by checking these. Chooses not to check freeze or chest. I think that's probably the right answer. It would just be a waste of magic. And it's a little bit slow. Azure tends to be very cognizant of every little second in these runs, so we'll have to use Bombos. This doesn't have enough magic otherwise. If he had full hearts, then he could choose to do some dupes, which I know he's good at, but someone's gonna close to mostly last location this ice rod, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah, he dipped into TR already, dipped into Pod, Eastern.
And he won't have to do... Yeah, you did that already. But you have not done the shovel, so do the shovel check. And we didn't see this on Azure's side. Oh, maybe we did? I don't remember. I think he had this left still.
Yeah, he didn't do this shovel. I think he was going to do it after powder, but...
Yeah, it was like that or powder at that point.
I do think that someone will be going into the swamp after this.
I mean, what else does he have at this point, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to turn this purple chest and then go into swamp. He's going to avoid the green pendant turn-in. He's going to avoid left side. But, yeah, I mean, unless he does left side first, which, you know, in a pendant situation, there's an argument to be had to do that first.
Yeah. And that'll be
save and quit from Azder and probably go to the mountain. Well, now we're going to find out whether he gets his sword or not.
And like you said, it could be something he checks after TR.
Yeah, the problem is if you're gonna open up Turtle Rock, you need to do it from the light world. Now he has a mirror, so it's not that big a deal. Okay, he's gonna do it from the dark world. That's good. That means he's gonna get his tempered. Oh wait, someone hasn't done Pyramid Fairy yet.
Right, that's right.
Again, just like with Azure, it's like, okay, now he's got to go do the thing. No, wait, he's got this other thing that we forgot because the other person did it. The fact that Azure didn't pick up a potion makes me really glad he's going to pick up this tempered sword because, like I said, he can do that fight, but nobody wants to do that fight. Lampless, Master Sword, no potion. You have to hit all your triples. Again, I've seen him do it, but that's a lot of pressure. Yay, tempered sword.
I wonder if a part of me thinks he wanted to do it.
Honestly, if this wasn't a qualifier where, just the time loss would be... he enjoys that fight, don't get me wrong.
That's
what he doesn't enjoy is the amount of time it takes to do that fight. So, and nor would anyone else. Most of the rest of us sane people are like, yeah, I don't want to do that fight. Give me a sword, please,
Yeah, and that's official go mode for azder once he saw the quick there.
Yep.
For TR.
And oh my god, he's going. Is he gonna go for Mimic? No, don't. There's nothing else up here. Because he doesn't have the book yet, so it doesn't have Bombos. Doesn't have an item for Spike Cave. I mean, even if he did, he'd go the other direction.
Yeah.
This is really bad. There is no world where I do not last location Mimic Cave in someone's position. There's just no world where I do that.
So, are we allowed to talk about the race room?
No, we talk about finishes after our runners are finished.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's absolutely no world where I do this check before I do Swamp Palace.
If they both spin around on the platform.
Now,
yeah, this is a tough situation.
Yeah, the triple dip TR, completely unnecessary triple dip TR. Yeah, I really don't like this play. I mean, we know where the item is, and if we were in the situation where we're still looking for Ice Rod and Azure was got it Mimic Cave, my statement would still apply. There is no world where in this situation, if I've not been in Turtle Rock yet, or if I've been in full clear Turtle Rock otherwise, there is no world where I don't last location this item.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing for me.
We do get to find out what's there. Could be silvers.
It could be.
Not a great consolation prize for the amount of time you're spending. But you'll get back a little bit of that time.
Yeah. I think that might have been a bottle.
Was it a blue 5? Yeah, probably a bottle then. Yep.
So now does he do Spike Cave first?
If he has a bottle, he can. Actually, with 14 hearts, never mind. With 14 hearts is exactly enough to do it and survive if you do it efficiently. I think you might be able to head if you really, do it right. You can do it at 13 hearts. I guess this is Spike Cave. Wouldn't it be faster just to flute back to the west side of the mountain and go up that way? But I don't know what else he has at this point in this area.
Yeah. Unless no, because the items in Hera were very straightforward. I don't think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The items in Hera. It was like a. I mean, if there was, we don't usually use the term for Hera, but it was essentially a god Hera.
Yeah.
Now this is Spike Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to full clear Laser Bridge, unfortunately, because if I recall, the small key was the last chest.
Yeah, I think the middle two were map and compass, and I think the realization is hidden that it's in swamp somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else left for him. Hopefully he remembers that swamp is a thing. Okay, it looks like he's headed towards the portal, so...
Yeah.
Alright, and there's that key. Because, of course.
It's the last. It's always the last one you check, no matter what order you go.
And as you're going to be the first to try next, I'll set up with that ice rod. And we'll just hope that someone decides to go straight to the back instead of going to the left side first. If this were a crystal and go -1, you almost always will see runners just go straight to the back. But this is pendant.
Yeah.
You know, you might say it might be a little quicker if the item's on the left side. This is a bad left side loadout, though, because of the big key being in the back. And Azure gets his 7th crystal, and we're headed to GT, where we play a little game. Go ahead and put those numbers in chat. We'll see what number big key, where you can win absolutely nothing because not even the fake internet points anymore. Fake internet points? I don't know.
I don't know. What's your guess?
I always say 5 because I don't like I'm not a fan of a prolonged big key shirts, and 5 is a nice neutral number for that.
I'll go with 7 today.
Okay, looks like someone is going to go straight to the back, so he'll get his ice rod fairly soon.
We'll save a tiny bit of time not having to go back into the left side.
Right. Okay, number 1 and number 2 in Hope Room are nothing, no small key, so we have to go back to the left. Three arrows on the torch. Four is a small key. 5 is that ether.
You called it.
6 and 7.
I'm still going back for a compass.
Yeah, he does that sometimes, depending on his key count. Slightly more favored. Asher's someone you don't try and predict big key routing from Azder, because he'll choose to do. Sometimes he'll choose to do compass and do full right. We'll see if that's what he ends up doing.
That's the ice ride for someone. He is now in good level.
Ape is nice. Silver's is nicer. But no big key. So that was
8, 9, 10,
8,
11.
9, 10, 11.
Hey, there it is, the full right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, this abandons, you know, if your big key ends up in either rando room or firebar room, you do lose quite a bit of time here.
Oh wow, I don't think I've ever seen someone take this path. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, if you know it, it's a little faster if you know it. Unfortunately, he did fall. There we go. That's better.
That's awesome. Yeah, you weren't joking about that menuing. So fast.
Okay, now someone gets to go straight through Turtle Rock, doesn't have to stop for anything. Has already full cleared this dungeon. Twice. Oh, and unfortunately bet wrong. Probably either in Firebar room or in Rando room. Unless, of course, it's in the Tile room. In which case, it almost doesn't matter because everybody's going to last location that.
And I think I counted section 15 because that's right before my summers. This one should be 16.
I believe it's 17, so we have 5 left.
Oh. I can't count.
Yeah, I don't count. I subtract from 22.
that's a smart thing to do.
So it'll be 18, 19, 20, and 21. Well, I don't think we'll get that far, but... Or, no, wait, I missed this one. So that's 8. That's 17. Now we're going to be 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
So you were right in the numbers.
Oh, okay.
I just forgot to forgot the fire snake. There it is, 18. And there's no reason to check anything else. There's absolutely nothing that can help him at this point. I do wonder if he's going to do the Bonk Fairy since he has no magic. But with Silvers, I think he skips it.
Yeah, you do get the magic refill at the top, right?
Yeah, I mean, he the magic refill here would help him in, say, Land Mode 2. But you also have Silvers for that. It helps you a little bit in the Gauntlet. But you have Tempered Silvers. It's a reasonable option to take, but I don't think he's going to. You know, someone in the Triton X fight? And he is going to take that magic refill. Yeah, I think that's, I mean, for the magic, I think it's worth. You know. You don't have to worry about it now. He doesn't have a potion.
Someone325 getting to GT now. Those lasers being mean. Every time he picked up a pot, it smacked him. It's like, ah. If someone decides to go full left here, they will miss the arrow.
Yep, most likely gonna. Yeah, this could be. This could be Dark Magician.
Well, he did Hope Room already.
Oh, he already did Hope Room. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going full left. You don't. There's only a handful of players. Actually, I only know a couple of players that will ever go back to the right after this. And Azure being one of them. The Silvers are not going to save Azure the amount of time, extra time it took for him going back there. But I guess they're a consolation prize.
Yeah. Flying through this.
Yeah, having a very nice GT climb.
And yeah, that's a good point from Tiberius in chat. You know, like for someone who did triple dip Turtle Rock and last located that Ice Rod, you know, doing exceptionally well, being in GT right now.
Azure picks up that magic refill. You definitely want that. Someone continuing to open chests because hoping for silvers probably. Yeah. Not going to get them. So he might open the chests on the climb. We'll see. Azure with a annoying little bonk there. Yeah, also an interesting point in chat. The book on that green pendant turn in really meant that, you know, like if he'd done the powder before that, he might have been sucked into a lot more of those myth checks. Azure, that is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the book also opened up other locations that had nothing, so it might have evened out. I don't think he ever went back to Ether Tablet, though, so he didn't do all the book checks.
Yeah, he definitely did Bombos.
He did Bombos, yeah.
And he went into Desert, which is, you know, a slightly longer way to do it with the book than with the
okay. That's Aga 2 down for Azder. Just needs to kill Ganon.
And this is with Tempered and Silver, so...
Yep, pretty easy fight.
Even without the lamps, so...
Looking good so far. Making very nice use of that hook shot.
Got the 1-1, and he's now in phase 3.
Oh no, silver is my one true weakness. I want different text for that.
Yeah, like the trifle text.
Yeah, yeah.
Silver text.
All right, a double to finish Ganon off.
Very nicely done. I think that's a sub 2-minute Ganon fight.
Yeah, very nice Ganon fight.
Get your GGs
made good use of the silvers.
Yeah, very much.
And Azure is going to finish with an official race time of 1:34 on the dot, and that'll be good enough for 11th place. See, we got all these new Triforce checks now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, someone almost done with the GT climb. For reference, we did have a jet finisher. Error managed to get a 1:13.36, which I guess if you get those mitts, but then otherwise do Azure's route, I could see.
Yeah.
Paradox finishing second with a 1:26.16. Farfaloo finishing third with a 1:26.56. McMonkey fourth with a 1:28.49, and Eridan fifth with a 1:30.12. That'll round out our par times. And we do have Azure joining us. GG's.
Nice. Azder.
So, mitts go mode.
Yeah, I forgot to check that for a while, and I only remember I had powder when I was in pod because I was thinking about powdering the AT Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you were thinking.
I'm prioritize that because like I don't really want it to be something because I missed it, and then after I did Swamp and got Ice Rod, and I was just like, yeah, I got Ice Rod, then I got Book, then I got Bow. And at that point, I was just like, okay, I actually want mitts to be somewhere where I miss them now.
Yeah, because poor someone triple dipped Turtle Rock, which was crazy. Went back in with the mirror for Mimic Cave before going into Swamp. So
yeah, my brain was not on for like half the seed, so I think I could have gotten like a much bigger advantage out of missing the mitts like that, but there's a lot of things I did to kind of squander it. So if like him doing triple dip Turtle Rock and not being that far behind kind of makes sense. Like I think I played fairly, I executed pretty cleanly for the most part, but like the micro decisions were just not there for me today.
I mean, it still came up with still going to give you a pretty decent score. Ari just, I don't know, is on a different level apparently.
It'd be a very good score if not for that time, but
I know, right?
That one straight time is not gonna hurt it too much. I can like, I was thinking that par time would be around like where second place to fifth place is. I wasn't expecting someone to do that well, but I'm not that surprised either. Like it makes sense to me how that happens in this seed.
Yeah, I mean, I figure if you do a route similar to yours, just get the mitts a little bit earlier. I could see something like that.
And play better also. I was trying to do some things like when I got Fire Rod, I was like, well, I wasted a lot of time in the overworld, so I'm gonna like try to chase Fire Rod logic except for Skullwoods. I don't want to go back to Skullwoods until I find bits. So I can save a bit of time, and then I just ended up going back there anyways. And I probably could have saved some time if I remembered to go turn in Green Pennant after Swamp, but I just remembered that like, it's like, okay, I got Ice Rod from here.
Yeah.
Double checking how many items I need from left side, and then I just forgot what I planned to do after leaving, so I just like, okay.
Yeah, so Misery Mire, I assume you just forgot that was a pendant. Yeah,
I mixed up my last two pendants. It was kind of funny too because I was worrying about needing 2 medallions for dungeons, and then I was like, oh, I didn't have to worry about it as much.
Did you think about going into Mire Shed while you were there?
I was going to if Mire Medallion was not one that I had, and then I went in and I remembered that it was a pendant anyways. so
yeah, Polar Bear Bunny, you're gonna be very sad that you missed your lamp there. It was also the other sword.
Oh yeah, so I knew it had to be mitts. It was interesting when it came down to like, I had isolated Pyramid Fairy, or no, I had isolated Pyramid Ledge.
Yep.
And I was thinking there's a good possibility mitts are on there because, like, I've got Bow, I've got the second red crystal at Pod, and I was just like, well, that's logically behind Lamp, and I haven't found Lamp anywhere. Right. And it's very, very likely that it's mitts somewhere on the overworld that I missed that has Lamp behind it. But then I was just like, well, I want the Pyramid Fairy check for the second for like another sword or another medallion anyway, so I had to like change my mind on if I was gonna do Pyramid Ledge before pod or not. It was kind of a mess. I don't like a lot of the decisions I made. But
it worked out okay. Someone finishing up with an official race time of 1:37:57. He's also joining us. GG's.
Hello,
GG's,
GG's.
Okay, so I gotta ask: triple dip Turtle Rock before Swamp?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a bold play.
I thought Aurora finished early, so I assumed he got Mirror and then went to Turtle Rock and then found Ice Rod there, but no, he's just fast.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask before, but I didn't want to mention the finish times or anything. I wonder if somebody saw Error's time and, decided to like, oh, they're probably there, but they just got the mirror first.
Mhm.
And that led to that decision.
Yeah, so yeah, that Ice Rod, Argus Ice Rod,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad. if you're not going to it earlier.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go to Swamp anyways. But then I wasted a few minutes, but only a few minutes.
Mm-hmm. You avoid Meyer at least. Like that,
Yeah.
that could have been a bit of a time sink as well.
I had met SCO mode and I still managed to not avoid Meyer.
yeah. If you watch it back, you'll see he walks in, realizes it's a pendant, and leaves.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, things are going pretty good for you. But is the Turtle Rock dip you did earlier, which I think is a reasonable play, didn't work out, and then get your bow in desert. Get your mirror, get your bow, and then mirror just opens up so much that you don't want to do. Late mirror is just terrible.
Yeah, my first time up the mountain, I wasn't expecting to go in the Turtle Rock, but then I found Kane and Fire Rod.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of happened.
Yeah, Kane's chilling at the old man.
I see. It's so weird. I have no idea what the seat is like if you get bits at a reasonable time.
Yeah, it means you do some things that you maybe wouldn't have done. Like, I don't know that. Like, when do you think you might have gone? And this is all pure speculation, but you did pod pretty early, because you didn't get those mitts in part. When do you think you might have gotten back there?
I did not feel like that was early at all.
Oh,
but it
well,
was,
compared to
basically-
when the bow was, I would say.
Yeah, well, I felt like pod was the play, and I had taken forever to get to it, so I didn't feel good about it. Because I didn't know the mitts were available. So like, when do I go back to it? Because you need book or mirror to get the bow.
I have no idea where the book is.
Wait, no,
Green
you
pendant.
need mirror to get the book. Anyways, so
Yeah.
mirror in pod.
Yeah, it was a forced double dip.
Books on Saha, green pendant
Yep.
turn in.
Yep.
And that's how I got the bow, and that's how I got Mitsuko mode, which is really weird. But
Yep. Yeah, it was a weird. Like, we saw the book, it's like, okay, well, I think we still didn't know where the bow was when you got the book, so the possibility of the bow hanging out on a tablet was still there. We knew Ped was dead because Ice Rod was, the only thing we were looking for between the two of you was that bow. So it was, 2 tablets. You avoided the ether tablet at least, and gave you desert access. And once we saw, so you got the bow at about the same time. You just entered there differently. But yeah, that was a hard required double dip, which you don't see that every day.
Yeah, at least
In
with
that
pod you can
method.
get the bow lock items, so it's not that big of a deal.
yeah, and Fleet makes it not too bad either.
Mhm.
So I think that I don't take too long to get to pod if I get the mitts, because I think what I do first is I do Dark Death Mountain. I don't think that I enter DDM from the top here, so I can't get into TR without the mirror from there. So I don't get sucked in.
Yep.
But I make sure that I clear that, and then I probably go to pod after sometime soon, because I would have found Lamp in Mireshed. I was waiting on that a little bit to make it faster.
Yeah, it makes sense. And maybe you do Ice Palace somewhere in there, but yeah. Ice wasn't very long.
Ice, yeah, would have done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was kind of waiting for Kane before I do ice, or at least till I felt like I had to do ice.
Yeah, Icebreaker has completely changed the way we approach Ice Palace.
I'm also kind of annoyed at GT Big Key location because there's only one key in the first 7, which means that I instantly knew Fire Snake and Tile Room were also keys, and knowing Fire Snake was a key made me not want to go left. And then like the 4th key has to actually show up somewhere in the basement for it to be a rando room when it could be upstairs, so I went right to Ice Armos instead.
That makes sense.
You see, when I do GT, I don't think, I just go.
That's some awesome knowledge of GT keys.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I can't say that like the way that I route GT sometimes burns me really badly, but sometimes it also really helps me, so I just kind of accept the risk usually.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true of any route, but I mean, I guess putting some logic to your decisions might make it just a little bit better in general over a long stretch of races.
Like some people would rather mitigate certain risks, protect against certain things in GT. So there's just a lot of people have their ways of wanting to do it. There's disadvantages to most routes, or there's disadvantages to any route basically that you do. So I mean, like, if I didn't want to get screwed by doing that, then I would have done like route that is safer for that kind of thing, like right first into left, which actually doesn't work because you don't have the small key. But
right,
yeah,
I don't know.
All right. Anyone else want to add anything before we close this out?
Interesting seed. Qual seeds have been a mess lately. Actually, like I felt kind of fish out of water a little bit because I have a forfeit from forgetting to turn on my delay once, so I can't afford a bad score all that much.
Yep.
So I have to route a lot more conservatively, and I'm not really used to doing that. So I think maybe that's why some of my decisions were questionable. But
I don't know. I didn't find any, the only question. I'm sorry to harp on this, someone, but the only decision I really questioned was that mimic cave play.
it's a good 1v1 play, I guess.
Yeah, I mean 1v1, I actually don't mind it nearly as much on 1v1 because like if you know your opponent's the type to go into Turtle Rock early like that, and then the answer's just there, then yeah. But in a qual, I just if you're wrong about that, it's just such a time loss.
Yeah, it just it just happened. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean it happens. I think you're still gonna come up with a relatively decent score, so should be fine. For getting into the tournament and all, and which in the end, everybody's so good that I'm not sure how much it matters exactly where you place, just as long as you get in.
Yeah, I find it a bit hard to motivate myself to like do super good in quals or anything at this point. I used to worry about it a lot more.
So is this the last qual for you guys, or do you have more remaining that you're intending to play?
I have to do one more.
One more.
I'm thinking about doing like number 6. Because I do have a forfeit and a not good score.
I was thinking about doing a 6th if I really felt like I needed to. This score is not going to be too bad, though. I probably don't need to do a 6th.
I probably don't have to, but I might as well make my score better. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the ideal result, right?
It's pretty busy this week too, because there's async qualifiers for the Prime 1 and 2 cross-game multi-world tournament that I have to get done. Which I'm looking forward to that tournament. That's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I know you got a few other things going on as well. But yeah. Anything else anyone wants to add? We'll close this out.
That's it for me.
Someone?
GG's to both of you.
Nothing for me. So
All
GG,
right.
Thanks for having us.
All right. There we go. Go ahead and I'll put the follow in chat if you'd like to follow these runners. They put on a good show for you here, so go ahead and click those links. Next qualifier is tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, well, really 9:10 Eastern for the broadcast. Don't know which SG channel the main stream will be on, but there will be a second stream on the ALTTPR Randomizer channel and one stream on an SG channel to be determined. I'd like to thank everybody, Azder and Someone, for putting on a good show, for being on Restream and showing us how it's done. Smirk for joining me on commentary, and a huge shout out to Duke Firebird for doing the tracking. I always call the trackers the MVPs. We couldn't do these without trackers. The rest of us, we just get to talk about things. They have to do the hard work and click those buttons and make sure that everything's okay. And so huge shout outs to him. Otherwise, that'll do it for us. Smirk, you got anything to add?
Yeah, just GG's again to everybody, and big thanks, just to echo your thoughts there. And thank you to you as well, Tracy M, for taking lead on comms today. It was really awesome to do comms with you. So,
Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you all Wednesday night for the next one.